Hey children, good morning. I was in South Africa recently and I took a lot of pictures in my trip. I want to show those pictures to you. Take a look. This is Johannesburg. The place is called Littlewood Guest House. This is a resort with cottages, some 10 or 12 cottages. A guy called Louise and his wife are taking care of this place. They own the place. They live behind this property. The exterior and interior is just brilliant, very well maintained. There's a beautiful pool, and I spent half a day taking pictures around this place. This is the Centurion metro station. Metro trains are called GOW trains in South Africa. And the stations are clean. They provide great connections to every place in the city. They have an adjacent car park where people park their cars and just get into the metro. The only problem with Johannesburg is people tell you don't walk alone in the night. That's because of safety concerns. Other than that, the city is awesome. This is the middle of Johannesburg called Sandton City. There are shopping malls, cars, buildings, just like any typical city. And very close to the city center, Sandton City, is the Nelson Mandela Square, where there's a huge statue of Nelson Mandela. After Johannesburg, we hired a car, 4 of us, me, Reshu, Sharad and Saurav, and set out to Kruger National Park. On the way to Kruger National Park, we found this beautiful lakeside cafe where we stopped over for a snack and also to take some pictures. Just a beautiful scenic place. And finally, on a Sunday morning, we reached Kruger National Park at 6 a.m. in the morning. And there was a huge wait. There was a 3-hour wait. And we wanted to enter Kruger National Park from the Crocodile Bridge gate. And this is the one. Inside the Kruger National Park, we saw many animals. We saw impalas, crocodiles, zebras, elephants, giraffes, bisons, and many more animals. The Kruger National Park is a huge park, about 20,000 square kilometers. If you look at the map of South Africa, here is how big it looks. And inside Kruger, there are several campsites. The campsites will allow you to rest and you can continue your journey further on. This was one of the sites called the Sabi, and that's where we stopped for to freshen up and We can park our car. The whole place is fenced with an electric wire, so no animals can get inside. So we were looking for accommodation near the Kruger National Park, and we kept driving and we finally hit a border of South Africa and Mozambique, and we realized that's the end of the country, and we just drove back, and we finally found a place called the Border Country Inn, run by a guy called Jamie, and this was a lovely place. We had a great time. And next morning, we had lunch at a place called Tamburina. The lunch was so good here, we kept talking about this for days. Our next stop was at a place called the Mac Falls. This was a scenic falls, but we couldn't go near the water. It was just, we had to climb down the stairs and look at the water and come back. After that, we went to a place called God's Window, and this was on top of a mountain where you could get a scenic view. There was a lot of fog that day, so we just stayed there for a while, enjoyed the place, and came back. As we headed back to Johannesburg, we stopped at a town called Sabi, and there was this Sabi Brewing Company. We had dinner there. This was on a flight to Cape Town from Johannesburg. This was a place called Tom's Guest House in Cape Town. This was a famous Olympia Cafe in Cape Town, facing the harbor. When you travel down south of Cape Town, you go along the Atlantic Ocean and reach Cape of Good Hope.